All right, so welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at substitution level 2. So in these questions, you're going to be looking for which equation is the form x equals or y equals. We're going to see in this section, not both of the equations, only one of the equations is going to be in this form. So you want to identify which equation it is. So in this first example, we have negative 6x minus 8y equals 50. We also have the second equation, x equals negative 3y. Your eyes should light up when you see x equals negative 3y, because like I said, this is essentially a nickname. X goes by negative 3. So that means in the top equation, anywhere I see an x, I can replace it with this negative 3. So if I rewrite this equation, I have negative 6. But instead of calling that x by x, I'm going to call it by negative 3y. So then I'm going to just copy the rest of this equation. So we have a minus 8y equals 50. So if we multiply this out, negative 6 times negative 3 would be positive 18y minus 8y equals 50. So we can combine our like terms. So 18 minus 8y would be 10y. Since they're on the same side, we can combine them basically. So we would get 10y equals 50, which you could divide, because remember this is 10 times y. So we would get y equals 10. Or not 10, sorry. 50 divided by 10 is 5. So to get our other answer, so right now we know our y, remember your answer goes x comma y. So we can plug it into either one of these equations, but you're pretty much, oh, that's kind of weird. But you're pretty much always going to want to plug it in to this isolated equation, the one that was either x equals or y equals. So I'm going to plug that, like do my work over here. So we would have x equals negative 3 parentheses 5. We're plugging in the 5 in for that y. So if you work this out, this would be negative 15. So that's what we would put in our first box. Let's look at another example. So we have y equals 4x, and we have 8x minus 4y equals negative 40. So you should see that this top equation is in that form y equals. So we know y equals 4x. Anywhere we see a y, we can call them by the second name, 4x. So in the second equation, I'm going to replace that y with this 4x. So when I rewrite this equation, I'm going to have 8x minus 4, but instead of that y, I'm going to plug in this nickname 4x. And then I'm going to set it equal, so let me color code that. So I'm going to set equal to negative 40. And now we can solve or work this out to get the x by ourselves. So the first thing we want to do is multiply this out. But we would have 8x minus 16x, because 4 times 4 is 16. We can combine our like terms. 8 minus 16 is going to be negative 8x. If we remember, this is multiplication, so we're going to do the opposite, which is division. So our answer for our x would be positive 5. So similar to the previous question, we're going to plug this back in to this equation that was in the form y equals. So if I do that, I'll have y equals 4 times 5. And if you work that out, that would be 20. So our answer would be the x goes in the first box, our y goes in the second box, 520.